Hello friends, a warm welcome from Aussizz Group, and I am your host of the day, Ankur. Today we are going to talk about CCL and NAATI courses. We've got Monika here, our CCL coach. How are you, Monika?
I'm good, thank you, Ankur. How are you?
I'm good. Monika, this CCL and NAATI, these are two different things, right? And the speculation at the moment is like once you'll be through with your CCL coaching, you'll be getting 5 very golden points towards your permanent residency. So let's talk about this.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Could you please tell our viewers, like every actually person wants to know about this, that what is CCL and how this is different from NAATI endorsed test?
Okay, so first of all, hello everyone and welcome at Aussizz Group. As Ankur said, my name is Monika, and to answer Ankur's question and to help other viewers to understand what is the difference between NAATI endorsed course and the test that was conducted by NAATI and CCL, first I would like to say that both the tests are conducted by the NAATI, which is an authority. Whosoever out there doesn't know what is NAATI, just a brief introduction. NAATI is an authority which takes care of interpreters and translators in Australia. NAATI used to conduct tests on its own before when there was no CCL. Still those tests are being taken, but at this stage, as we are talking about CCL, CCL, which stands for Community Credential Language, it is still conducted by NAATI, but a person cannot work as an interpreter after clearing this test. So basically this test is generated by NAATI specially for those who need 5 points for the immigration purpose. That's what CCL is, and that's how it is different from NAATI test.
So guys, that is the difference, like NAATI endorsed test, like once you through with your NAATI endorsed test, you can work as an interpreter, and once you through with your CCL test, is just you'll be getting yourself, or you'll be earning 5 crucial points towards your permanent residency.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The next question, like where all these tests can be conducted?
Okay, so currently this test is only conducted in Australia, which is particularly in 8 locations at this stage, which is Perth, Canberra, Hobart, Sydney, Melbourne, and 3 other places in Australia itself. It is not conducted outside Australia yet, but I would still recommend that keep an eye on NAATI website, because NAATI keeps on changing bits and pieces here and there. So it is always good to have an eye. Maybe NAATI can increase the centers, maybe NAATI can go beyond Australia. So it is good to have an eye on NAATI website all the time if someone is looking forward to it. Otherwise, people overseas can come on, say, visitors visa or tourist visa to Australia if they are looking forward to those 5 points to migrate to Australia. And that's how it is. Like at this stage, it's only in Australia.
So a very, very good advice has been given to you guys. Like keep an eye on NAATI website, because if a part of those 8 centers, you'll be getting new centers in, you'll be getting the update straight away. With regards to your other stuff as well, you'll be getting the updation. Right, Monika, now let's proceed further. How is this test to be conducted? Like how a person can go with this test?
Yep, sure. So basically, once if someone is booked for the test already, let's take it from there. So say for example, you have booked your exam already and you're ready to go and sit for your exam. Then first, what would have everyone, I think when you book an exam, you always have a question, okay, what will happen? What is expected from you in the examination center? And so if that's your question, then getting back to it, once you're ready for the exam, when you reach to your center, first and foremost is read your email of confirmation very, very thoroughly. If there is a spelling error or any sort of error that you realize which is in your email, just straight away reply to NAATI or request for your change in spelling errors, and so this is must required. And once you enter the examination hall, once that your spelling errors or anything such is sorted out, not only errors, but they will ask you to bring your identification with you when you appear for the test. As you go for your IELTS test, PTE test, they ask you your passport. Similarly, for this test, you need to show your identification, which is passport, when you reach to the center at the reception. Then you leave your belongings which you have along with you for security reasons. You have to leave your electronic devices outside on the reception or welcoming desk itself. Then when you proceed further, once your identification check is done, then they will take you to the waiting room. Waiting room is something where every candidate would be sitting together in one particular room until your turn comes. So how would you know that when is your turn? So there is a list provided on the wall or say on the screen when you enter to the waiting room, and in that order candidates are called for the examination in a separate room. So say for example 4 or 5 of us are ready for the exam. We are sitting in the waiting room. We are allowed to take notes though. Other electronic devices are outside, but you have your notes. So you can keep on studying, and so there are little tips and tricks which I would like to give the viewers. Just take your food and water or medication with you, because sometimes that waiting period is a little bit longer, which you're not expecting. One of my students, say last month, who appeared for the test, was having a backache, so we recommended him that take a pillow or so, because for sitting 4 to 5 hours sometimes, if your health is not good, then there's a rest is required. So I would recommend the viewers that if you have any sort of such issues, then you must take care of yourself, because when you're relaxed, you are good at your exam. Okay. So it is directly linked to it. Proceeding towards our step, so your identification check is done, you're waiting in the waiting room, and you can exchange your notes, you can study, and you can talk. Please don't make interruption, but that's how the procedure is. So as per the list, as per your names in the list, an invigilator would come and ask one by one to the next room. Like there are 3 to 4 rooms allocated for the test. So say for example you are the first one, and then I'm followed by you. So you're going in the separate room, I'm going in the separate room. Though the examination is say same, exactly the same, but we would be appearing separately. You in the separate room, me in the separate room. Once you enter the examination room, there would be a camera in front of you, and there would be cameras all over the room, maybe for security reasons, but there is definitely one camera kept across you or in front of you for monitoring purposes. And your performance, the person sitting exactly in front of you, your invigilator, has nothing to do with your exam in a way. He's not your examiner. Just to clarify, because these days there is a confusion that will I be marked at that same time. So you're not marked at that same time. A recorder is kept in front of you. Whatever the speaker you have in the recording would be played, that would be recorded, as well as your performance is recorded. So that recording, once you finish your test, that recording straight away goes to the examiners. So a pile of students' examination recordings goes to the examiners, and there are 2 examiners, just for people who don't know how this is going to go forward. There are 2 examiners who are going to mark you, and then the average score is given to you. Okay. In a way, yeah. So that's how it is, and this test ends and you are like, okay. And yes, you also are given a pen and a notepad, a notepad and a pen. They are not like in your PTE exam. They are just simple printing papers and a normal pen. For people who want to practice at home, they can do practice on simple printing papers and the pen. You are supposed to leave those papers and pen in the examination room itself. You cannot take it home. So that's the whole procedure which takes place on your examination day.
All right. So guys, as Monika told you the whole structure of this exam to be conducted, I would like to just emphasize on one of the facts, which is you're going to be judged by 2 examiners, and the average score is going to be the marks, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right. So this is what we need to understand as well. So CCL we are talking about. So what sort of pattern we actually need to follow for this particular exam, or shall I say that what is the pattern of this exam?
Okay, so the pattern is quite simple. In a way, there are two dialogues. That's how we can, that's a jargon of the industry. Some people call it conversation, some people call it a dialogue. So in a NAATI terms, I would use the jargon as dialogue. There are two dialogues. Each dialogue is of 45 marks. So the total examination is of 90 marks.
Okay.
So out of 45, one needs 29 marks to pass. So that's 45, you need 29 to pass, 45 you need 29 to pass. But the aggregate score, that is out of 90, you need 70% score to pass, that is 63.
Okay.
So say for instance, in one dialogue, you really did well and you got 40 out of 45. But in the other one, you got say 22. So that comes up to 62. So though you have cleared one, you did not clear other. Even say if you get 23, then you are having a score of 63. Again, you are getting 70% score. But because you have not fulfilled the criteria of passing in both the dialogues, you still fail. So you need 29 each as well as the total of 63. So I would recommend students to target at least 33 and 30. That's an average score. Always have a target of higher marks,
yeah,
but
exactly.
still at least you need 33 and 30 to make 63.
So guys, just aim for the high, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So when it comes to the test, right, the duration of the test. Say at the moment we are waiting in the waiting area, could have been like 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
But once you're going for the actual test, so what is the duration of that CCL test?
You may be shocked to listen to this, but the truth is it is just 15 to 20 minutes and you're done.
Oh, so that means you're waiting for the test which is going to be finished in 15 to 20 minutes for 2 to 3 hours.
I would frame it in that way that you're waiting for the test dates, you're waiting for 6 long months, you're getting the test date, waiting in the room for 5 hours or maybe 4 hours, whatever, and then in the exam room it is just 15 to 20 minutes and game over. So there's no time for warm-up. As in school days, the examination used to be of 3 hours, and we were prepared by our tuition teachers and our school teachers that just read the question paper for 20 minutes, relax. So over here, you don't have any time to warm up. The first segment itself should be a home run. That's how I preach my students.
So this is what we are like all about CCL NAATI. So guys, here the thing which is like I would like to mention that 15 to 20 minutes waiting for 3 hours or waiting for last 6 months for that particular date and your test to be conducted is worth, because you'll be getting your crucial 5 points towards your permanent residency.
And before saying bye, Ankur, I would just like to mention, because we had many queries as we discussed before, that students are worried about the cost factor. I think that would matter a lot. So the cost of this test is $800, just for our viewers to know. So the test is worth of $800. When you book, you at least should have that balance.
Oh, how can I forgot that? The cost.
Yeah, exactly.
So $800, guys.
Okay.
$800, 5 permanent residency point. Beautiful. So here we go off. Like, thank you very, very much. And thanks, Monika, for being here at Aussizz Group.
Okay.
Right.
Thank
Thanks.
you so much.